What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, May 27th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. As many of you guys know, right now, Matt Randall's son, star of the Taint Play of the Day, OG low bagger, and great friend to all of us, his son, Briggsy, is at Mott's Children's Hospital getting a major surgery done. And Briggsy is such a tough boy, and I know he's going to get through it. And Matt Randall is such a great leader, and I know he's going to lead his family through it. But right now, if we could all just take a second and send as much positive energy and love and light to the Randall family. And I know Briggsy's going to make it through this. He's been through a lot in his very young life, and he's handled everything with great strength, and I know he will do that too. So let's just start our show out by giving the Randall family as much love, sending them as much love, light, and prayers as possible. Also, this is a hat from the baseball team that Matt Randall coaches, the Onstead Wildcats, the youth baseball team that Matt Randall coaches. So wearing the hat, thinking of you, Maddie, thinking of you, Briggsy, and the whole Randall family. We love you guys so much. Let's get to work. Thank you guys all so much for joining us here at Pub Sports Radio. We got K. Paul VIP says, good morning, fellas. Get some paper. Good day to have a great day. Viper NB ready to go. Darren Kelly says it sure feels like the Loafers win tonight. I don't know anything about hockey. Yeah, it looks like they'll beat the Habs. Last time they did this in the playoffs, they won the Stanley Cup. That was just in 1967, not that long ago. Gerald Jones here says, let's get some paper. Says, sportsbook at River Sports, mask optional. And he says, great comeback by my Knicks. You're absolutely right, Gerald Jones. Respect and congratulations. Well-deserved. A lot of you Knicks fans have been through the ringer, so we're proud. We're proud that you guys can enjoy a little glory. There's Jerry Beatty. Said Hawks first half big casher for me. Boy, Jerry, there's slats 45-1-0 last night. Tampa looks good on Kane's money line minus 140. As much as I hate to do it on Leafs minus 1.5 at plus 120, the Habs are a hot mess. That from slats 45. We have Mr. Gogster joining us to break down NHL. We have Trot Wam, Wham Bam joining us to break down NBA. Talk sports with JT, ready to get to work. Puzzler, a.k.a. Knask Cat. There's Eric Jones, Danny A. Joseph Gomez says exactly value on the Habs. I don't know. The Leafs certainly have their foot on the Leafs' throat, but we will see. We will see. There's Spenny Penny Bombs, fresh from smashing New Zealand horses here live on our channel. The very first New Zealand race. So what happened last night? We were doing the horse show, and there's a huge storm in sweet Delaware. A huge storm, and our guy Razor Sharp Picks, the power went out in his house, so he left us, and we were going to close up the show when Emerald Downs ended, but instead Spenny started crushing. The first Aussie race that he bet 93-1 exactly he gave out in the chat. 93-1. There's Diesel Eugene ready to go. Diesel Eugene, got to feel good about your Lakers bet game 2 and to win the series. Great stuff. There's David Sharp, K-Prop now. 30K prop now, 26-10. Today, Pablo Lopez over 5.5 at minus 105 says this kid's a true home play on fade away. ERA under 1 at home and hit 6+ Ks in every home start. Hasn't seen a 6 on an away game. There it is. David Sharp, the dirty K prop, which is coming close to needing. Jose, we might need to get that dirty K prop the recognition it deserves with an intro video. Dirty K prop. I can see it right now. Spenny Penny Bombs with NHL. Toronto minus 1 at plus 120. Carolina Nashville to go to OT at plus 320. Carolina money line over 5.5 parlay at plus 268. Carolina team total over 3 at plus 160. Wow. Maxwell Smart cupcake play of the day is available right now. You have till noon Eastern to put a picture of a cupcake on on Maxwell Smart's Twitter handle. That's at CBMS420. CBMS 420, our guy Maxwell Smart. All right, Walla Walla Dose, Serious Business. Haven't seen Serious Business in a while. Great to see you. A lot of love being given out to our man, Matt Randall. Diesel Eugene shouting out David Sharp for his K props. All right, it is time to get to work right now. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. There's Dommy Gun Ricci. Dommy was at Nassau last night for the big Islanders victory. What a game that must have been. North Ender goes 5-0 yesterday in NBA, 3-1 in NHL. Hit my soccer parlay. I love it. Said took the day off in MLB again yesterday. Hey, North Ender, you whatever's cashing for you, man. Great work. Great work. Slot says today's NHL stat Leafs have outscored the Habs every game in the second period for a total of 8-1. Live bet it is. There's DC, the Czar, White Sox minus 2.5 for Naeem. The Czar ready to get to work. Capping 24/7. Tony Hill. All right. Guillermo Zertucci giving love to our Matt Randall. And there's TJ says though 7-2 plus 4.69 unit day in MLB yesterday. I love it, TJ. I love it. There's Willie Vegas, Eric Chang, Gerardo Hernandez, Christopher Carter. All right, great group. Let's get to work. Sharpie says, shout out to Jimmy, who's up drinking and betting horses at 1 a.m. here to do the show. Couldn't tell, no sleep. Thank you. You know, I love this stuff. Look, this is something I enjoy very, very much, gabbing with you guys. So waking up early this morning is not rough at all. I enjoy it immensely. All right, let's get to work right now. We get over to MLB, and we start with the double dip. There will be 4 games being played in New York City today. Danny A, let's get that for you. Victor says, love the Hurricanes today. Talking Sports with JT says, Philly game over 7. Brewers game under 8 locked in so far. All right, let's get to work. Colorado Rockies, 19-30, 3-18 on the road. At the New York Mets, 22-20, 12-5 at home. We're at Citi Field in Queens. Baby, Queens. Herman Marquez and Marcus Stroman on the bump. Let's go to market moves first and foremost, money lines and totals. Now, I came very close to betting game 2 here in this double dip. Very, very close. I did not. But, man, I almost did. And I didn't because the Mets took almost 20 cents of money with Luke Casey on the mound, which surprised me. Some of you might hear my 3-month-old son Carter in the background. He's after Titty right now. He's focused on Titty. He's trying not to get involved in our show. He's got a sole focus right now, and that's Titty, and I respect him for that. Here we go. This total was initially juiced to the under 5 at minus 127. We haven't seen an under 5, I don't remember, in a double dip so far this year. Now it is juiced to the over 5. Over 5 at minus 112 at Pinnacle. So a big move towards the over in this Marquez Stroman spot. The money line opened with the Mets and Stroman at minus 132. It is now at minus 124. So an 8-cent move towards Herman Marquez. There's Trusty in the house. Dennis Trusty doing great work. Yeoman's work in both thoroughbreds and sports. Not that horse racing is a sport. I do believe it's a sport. But thoroughbred, capping, and all the major sports. He's killing it right now. Okay. Dom Ricci took Stroman first game and over 5.5 in the second game. There's Williams Funds videos ready to go. Okay. Christopher Carr says Mets will hit their team total over in one of these games, but they cannot be trusted. They're playing children. All right, let's go to the lineups. They should be out and official. And with a double dip, you really want to know who is in. Here we go. Colorado Rockies lineup here. This game popping off in 59 minutes. Raimel Tapia in left field. Ryan McMahon, Trevor Story, Charlie Blackmon, Fuentes at first base. Rogers at second. Hampson in center field. Dom Nunez in catcher. That is a weak lineup. For the Mets, VR, Lindor, McCann, McKinney, Thomas, Nito, Drury, Peraza, Mabin batting 8th. It is 2 weak lineups, but it has moved to the over. Jason Albert says Mets go 2-0 today. Maxwell Smart eating microwave bacon. A little bit after Joe Carter, William, and a little bit after Vince. Maybe a little more Vince than Joe. TJ says first 5 under here. These bums can't hit. Stroman looks good, but I can't back the Mets either. There's Mr. Gogster in the house. There's Danny Betts. Okay, so let's move over to the stats and see what we want to do here. 76 Fahrenheit, clear, 11 miles per hour, sideways in. Herman Marquez, 3 and 4, 4.82 ERA, 1.59 whip, 52 and a third, 56 Ks, 30 walks, and 5 home runs. In his last start, he went 7 innings. He looked very good. 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks, and a 7-1 win at home versus Arizona. Stroman, 3 and 4, 2.75 ERA, 1.07 whip, 52 and a third, 43 Ks, 11 walks, and 6 home runs allowed. He also looked quite good in his last start. It was at Miami. He went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks, and a 6-5 extra inning win. Rockies don't hit righties. Neither do the Mets. Rockies 225, 663 OPS versus righties Mets 226, 643 OPS. Rockies bullpen atrocious, abysmal. 5.46 ERA, 1.59 whip, 7 of 15 converted save opportunities. Mets bullpen 3.52 ERA, 1.29 whip. They've converted 11 of 17 save opportunities. Gas says not Jimmy Carter. No, not President Carter. Although, got nothing bad to say about old President Carter. Kevin Riley says, good morning, Jimmy. Capping these early games till 4 a.m. Blurry-eyed this morning. Respect, Kev. There's Austin Hill in the house. And he says, last race of Canterbury, horse 4 with Conchari as the jockey. His brother really likes that horse. Thank you for sharing that with us, Austin Hill. All right, let's copy and paste that. Austin Hill with a little inside info for us. So I find this very tricky. I find the market moves on both these double dips very tricky. The idea that this is moving to the over, I find somewhat surprising. And I don't know what to do with it. Against Marquez, they're hitting 220 with a 687 OPS, 9 for 41, 5 doubles and a home run in those 9 hits. So just 3 singles. So when they barrel up, when they get hits, they barrel up. Stroman, they're hitting 182 with a 442 OPS. They're 10 for 55. 10 for 55, 8 singles and 2 doubles. And yet I can't. Trusty says, the more I look, this game sucks. There's Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. Great to see you, Dutchy. Okay, so there's no move here for me. I'm not starting my day here. I am starting my day with afternoon action, but not in Stroman Marquez. Let's move right to the double dip. My plan was to take the Colorado Rockies and Antonio Senzatella. I thought that plus 105 was strange. So I had to see why the market was moving towards the New York Mets. Maybe some of you guys, and maybe Dommy Gunn, who is our Mets insider, can enlighten us. So pretty much the same weather, 77 Fahrenheit clear, 9 miles per hour sideways in. So I guess it goes down 2 miles. It's 11 miles an hour sideways in. Prince of the City, thank you. Again, for those of you guys just joining us, our star of the Taint Play Day, Matt Randall's son, is having surgery right now over at Mott's Children's Hospital, and this is the hat. This is the hat for the Onstead Wildcats, and that is the team, the youth baseball team that our Matt Randall coaches. Victor says Padres are the best play on the early games, I think. Keep riding the hot team. Well, let's just go with this to get this double dip over and out. Senzatella versus Lucchesi. Senzatella 1 and 4, 5.01 ERA, 1.46 whip, 46 and 2/3, 28 Ks, 13 walks, 6 home runs. You never quite know what you're going to get with Senzatella. It's either very good or very bad. There seems to be no in between. His last start was nice. 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 7-6 win in Colorado in the thin air of Arizona. Lucchesi has had a tough year, but has had some bad luck and has a very nice K to walk ratio. 1 and 3, 7.32 ERA, 1.27 whip, 19 2/3, 25 Ks, 5 walks, and 2 home runs. In his last start, he went 4 innings, 1 hit. It didn't allow any runs, 0 walks, 8 Ks, and a 3-1 win at the Marlins. He looked great. Now, the first thing I thought of was the Rockies smashed lefties. But clearly, there are sharps who believe in what Lucchesi's offering and don't trust this Rockies lineup, especially in a double dip in the second game. Rockies are hitting 276, 794 OPS versus lefties. Mets versus righties, 226, 643 OPS. Rockies bullpen so bad, as we went over already. And TJ says Sensitel is so bad on the road. Bullpen is horrible. Second leg Colorado line will be even worse. I'm on the Mets in game 2. Wow. Wow. Very, very interesting. There's my guy DX Filer in the house. So I'm not going to bet the Rockies first 5 plus 105, but that was going to be my plan. And I'm not going to jump on to the other side. All right, let's move to my first spot. I'm on the Miami Marlins -1 at plus 100, plus 145 or minus 145 money line, plus 145 run line. And I can't get the first 5 minus a half. It's not being offered here. And it always angers me when that's happening. And I also think that Bet365 is scared to drop it. So, I mean, I can get a 7 innings line at minus a half at minus 120. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have just done that. Viper says he's with me on Miami. Viper says Miami 5-1 straight up last 6 games while playing at home against Philadelphia. We're at loanDepot Park in Miami, Florida. Spencer Howard is pitching, which means it will be a bullpen day. Let's see if we can get a primary here. No, they're not going to list a primary. They're going to see how far Spencer Howard can take them. We have a confirmed lineup for both clubs. For the Phillies, Quinn, Brad Miller, Rhys Hoskins, Herrera, Bohm, Joyce, Torres, Marchand. And for the Marlins, Sierra, Rojas, Dickerson, Duvall, Diaz, Leon, Lewin Diaz at first, Ison Diaz at second, and John Birdie at third. So this is pretty simple. And we also come to the Dirty K prop, Pablo Lopez over 5.5 minus 105. Desar says I have a family cottage in Onstead. Hope he's doing well. Love to Matty Ice and his son. Michiganders stick together. I love the great state of Michigan. You guys know that, man. All right. Prince of the Sea says baseball's exciting as curling. Yeah, you know, if the curlers were just a little bit hotter. Spencer Howard's last start, he went 3 innings, which is, I believe, I don't have it in front of me, but I believe the longest he's gone all year. 3 innings, he allowed 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 5 Ks, and a 4-3 loss at home versus the Red Sox. Clearly, the Phillies bullpen is going to come into play here. And they're not to be trusted. 4.71 ERA, 1.41 whip. They've converted 12 of 22 save opportunities. And we already heard our guy, David Sharp, talk about Pablo Lopez at home and how excellent he is. And I also think that whole dichotomy between him on the road and at home is going to change. I think that he's maturing and he's becoming an excellent pitcher. And I think his road stats will improve. But he isn't, at least in his last 2 home starts, he hasn't allowed a run. In his last start was at home against the Mets, he went 7 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks. He has a 2.73 ERA, 1.18 whip, 56 innings, 54 Ks, 17 walks, 4 home runs. And I trust this bullpen very much with the Marlins. 3.53 ERA, 1.12 whip, converted 10 of 22 save opportunities. The Phillies versus righties, 229, 669 OPS. The Marlins versus righties, just 232, 655 OPS. As you might have noticed in the Phillies lineup, no Bryce Harper. He's on the injured list with a bruised left wrist or forearm. The Marlins are missing players too. Brian Anderson, injured list now with shoulder subluxation. And Chaz Chisholm has a mild right ankle sprain, so I'm not sure if he's going to be in the lineup. So let's just go to baseball data. And that was the only thing that gave me a brief pause. Spencer Howard in a very small sample size, they're just 1 for 9 with the single against them. But Pablo Lopez, they're hitting 300 against them with an 885 OPS. And yeah, it makes me a little uncomfortable. Rhys Hoskins is 3 for 7 against them with a double and a homer. Andy McCutchen 1 for 5 with a homer. But I trust Lopez, and I'm going to stick with him. I trust him here. I trust him at home, and I'm going to go against those stats. Yeah, David Sharp, that's it. It does. I would love to see I'd love to see if he got hit harder. I would imagine, in Philly rather than in Miami. I'd love to see that kind of split up. But I'm trusting that Lopez probably got touched in Philly, and now he's at home, and that's sort of what I'm trusting here. And that's the only bet I've made all day so far. Joseph Gomez says Harper's still on the DL. Can't take the Phillies till he's back. And Prince of the City says, the original Philly fanatic went to the same college as me. I played football for his father. Well, you sound very respectful of the original Philly fanatic. Okay, there we go. Kevin Riley leaning towards the under. I get it. I get it with these lineups, but I looking back at not being able to not Bet365 not offering the first 5, but offering a 7. I probably should have double dipped in that way, taking the 7, but I did not double dip. Prince of the City says, don't bet Philly teams. No problem here. I'm on the Marlins -1 at +100. Let's move on. Next up, 12:35 p.m. Eastern. Chicago Cubs 26-22, 10-13 on the road at Pittsburgh Pirates, 18-30, 8-13 at home. And the legend gas station Sush the Truth is on the Pirates and Tyler Anderson here. And I have been backing the Cubs versus lefties all year long. And I didn't do it here. I didn't do it here knowing that he was on these Pittsburgh Pirates. One thing that Sush mentioned to us last night was that he tries to find reasons to take any of the 4 worst teams in Major League Baseball. And he says you can really find value and cash with them. And I don't believe he used the word value, but you know what I mean. You can get really nice numbers. And the Tigers are a perfect example. The Tigers won last night, and he's backing Tyler Anderson, whom when coming up, he came up in the Jays system, and he was really highly thought of. He was moved to the Rockies. I'm not sure if it was involved in the Tulowitzki trade. I can't remember how he went over to the Rockies, but went over to the Rockies and was supposed to be a major part of their future, and he just did not succeed. He did not succeed. There's Ski Profit in the house says Cubs and White Sox both facing lefties. Usually take them, but not today. Interesting. Jimmy Gomez says, what about isolating the first 5 for Miami? That's what I'd like to do, but I don't want it at -150 in my book's not offering the first 5 -0.5. And when my book doesn't offer the first 5 -0.5, it means they're scared to put it out because they know it'll get hammered. And I think they believe that the first 5 -0.5 is a winning bet. There's Turnsy in the house. Great to see you, Turnsy. And there's Matty Ice. Matty Ice says in surgery for 3 hours now and everything is going well. Let's pop this up right now. In surgery for 3 hours now and everything's going well. Thank you to everyone for your thoughts and prayers. Love you guys and proud to be a low bagger. And he says, nice hat, Jimmy. The Onstead Wildcats, Matty Ice's team that he coaches. Matty Ice, we're sending you so much love. We're thinking about you and Big Briggsy. And we just know, we're certain that Briggsy is going to get through this and that, you'll be coaching him very soon in baseball as well. And just sending you as much love as possible. Look at our guy, Matty Ice, jumping in the chat. And as much positivity as we can possibly send. Strength, prayers, love over to you and to Briggsy. That's nice to see, isn't it? Everything is going well. That's nice. Okay, so here we go. Cubbies, Pirates. Let's dig a little deeper here. We're going to start with this spot. Interesting that Ski also trepidation here. And I don't think there's been a lefty, at least on a weekday. I've taken some Saturdays and Sundays off, but there hasn't been a spot when I haven't bet the Cubs against a lefty. This total, though, has gone from 8 to 7.5. So clearly they think Tyler Anderson's going to have a good start. There's been an 11-cent move towards Hendricks, but that's expected. David Sharp says, I'm on the over 4 -115 first 5 in the Cubs game. Pirates hit Hendricks well, and it's Cubs versus a lefty. No need to pick a side here. 66 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour out to right. Kyle Hendricks, 4-4, 4.74 ERA, 1.50 whip, 49 1/3, 42 Ks, 11 walks, and 11 homers. In his last start, he went 6 2/3, allowed 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and a 12-3 win at the Cardinals. Tyler Anderson, 3-4, 4.73 ERA, 1.23 whip, 51 1/3, 51 K, 16 walks, 8 home runs. And he had pretty nice numbers before getting destroyed in his last start. We have a couple pitchers on today's card that were destroyed in their last start, and Tyler Anderson is one of them. 5 innings, 10 hits, 9 earned runs, 3 home runs allowed, 2 walks, 7 Ks, and a 20-1 loss at Atlanta. Cubs versus lefties, as we said, 254, 767 OPS. Pirates versus righties, just 232, 642 OPS. And I'm telling you, this Cubs bullpen is just unbelievable right now. Their ERA now for the season is down to 2.90. Whip at 1.25. They've converted 13 of 18 save opportunities. The Pirates bullpen 3.97 ERA, 1.22 Whip. They've converted 6 of 7 save opportunities. North Ender says, where's R2D2 Finland being? I know R2D2 Finland right now. He's in some sort of a steamy bathhouse drinking a beer in Finland. Feeling good about himself. Okay. Let's go to baseball data here. Against Kyle Hendricks, they're hitting .317 with an .847 OPS. And that's a huge sample size. Adam Frazier, 12 for 26 with 2 doubles and 2 homers. Gregory Polanco, 12 for 34 with 3 doubles and 2 homers. They're 32 for 101, .317, .847 OPS. And Tyler Anderson, they're 16 for 59. They're hitting .271 with an .876 OPS. Chris Bryant is 7 for 16 with 2 doubles and 3 home runs against them. And there's my guy, Nilo, in the house. Nilo was rolling with us last night on Razor Sharp's horse racing show. There's another one tonight, and man, it's extremely, extremely enjoyable. Our guy, Nilo. CT Base says, you've been right about Cubs pen keeping full game under. A few first fives over and full game unders. Yeah, CT Base. Over the last month, they're far and away the best bullpen in baseball. We'll see how long that lasts. Okay, so simply put, the legend suits the truth on the Pirates. The opening line was fishy to begin with when we know what the Cubs do to lefties and what Tyler Anderson coming off a 9 earned run start. So it's pretty easy stay away spot for me, and I'm going to sit back and cheer on gas station sushi. Chad Cannon says over 4 in first 5 Chicago Pit. Look, Chad, you'd be on the same side as David Sharp, which is a great place to be. But clearly, this total's gone from 8 to 7.5. It's an early game. I wonder if you ran every game that starts out at 12:35 Eastern. If you ran every game and check to see if the unders hit at an alarming percentage. If you blindly bet every under in a 12:35 game, I bet you'd come up with a really nice ROI. But let's go to that first 5 right now. Let's go to that first 5 total and see what's happened with it, and then we will move on. First 5 totals. It opened at 4, the under 4 at -102, and now it's at -110. So an 8-cent move towards that under. Even bigger move over at Bookmaker. Actually, not really, because it opened at 4 at -105. But if you look at this, so at Bookmaker, the initial juice from the opening line was 21 cents, which is something that they never do. The over was 4 at -126, and the under was 4 at -105, and that lasted for 3.5 or for almost 4 hours before the over went to -105. So a huge move. Well, it ended up just being a 10-cent move on the under, but the over went down 21 cents. So, all right. And CT Bay saying Luke Casey had the curve working last game in the 7-inning game. Our pen makes us good. We are built for twin bills. All right. And Razor Sharp says now the under's even juiced after dropping to 7.5. TJ says those moves are because people blindly bet unders. What is the actual money total on those moves? Well, let's pull that up then, shall we? If you ask it, you will receive. Although we can't spend too much time. I can't because we have Trot Wam joining us for NBA and Mr. Gogster joining us for NHL. But let's bring up Sports Insights. If you got it, why not use it? And it should have been up already. But I was capping up until the last second. All right, here we go. Let's pull it up here. Sports Insights. Let's go. Where the hell is it? Here we go. Log in. Okay, here we go. Let's see where the money is here. In MLB, we have, in this Cubs game, we have 84% of the tickets are on the Cubs. 88% of the cash on the money line is on the Cubs. 58% of the tickets are on the over, and 69% of the cash is on the over, and yet it's dropping to the under. So very, very dangerous, extremely dangerous total that I want nothing to do with. Okay, CT Bays, I'm also on the Marlins, full game -1. I wish I could have got the first 5 -0.5. I didn't want to pay the juice associated with the first 5 the way it was. So that is the Cubbies and the Pirates. We move on to 1:10 p.m. Eastern, and this Cleveland Indians at Detroit Tigers is my son coming off a giant victory last night on the first 5 under 3.5 in the Rays Royals at +103. Cleveland Indians, Detroit Tigers is Jose Seje. Play of the day, please welcome to the show, Jose, my guy. How are you today, Jose?
Man, Jimmy, what a roller coaster. What a roller coaster. I said it on the show previously. What's less than 3.5? 0. We had 1 run. We loved it. It was a good time. A nice, boring baseball game. And guess what? I'm rooting for more boring baseball today, Jimmy. I can't wait.
Well, you've got an interesting spot here. Shane Bieber, 4-3, 3.32 ERA, 1.26 WHIP, 65 innings, 98 Ks, 23 walks, 8 home runs allowed. In his last start, wasn't great. Wasn't a quality start. Made it through 5 1/3, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and a 5-3 extra inning win at home versus the Twinkies. And then you have Matthew Boyd, who's been very good this year, but coming off a rough start himself. He does have a 3.08 ERA, 1.08 WHIP this year. He's only allowed 2 home runs in 52 and 2/3 innings. But last start, he went 5 innings, allowed 8 hits, 5 earned runs, no homers, 3 walks, 5 Ks, and 7-5 loss at the Royals. Indians don't hit lefties. Tigers don't hit righties. Indians bullpen very strong. Tigers bullpen very weak. How are you betting this, my friend?
See, Jimmy, you laid it out great there. I was up early, diving into the numbers. I got my hands deep into this shit, Jimmy, deep in there. I liked the first 5 under 3.5, but it was a little too juicy at -130. So I said, no, not today. I like that though. If you're looking at it, not today though for me. Then I looked at K props. I saw, perhaps we look over there. Matthew Boyd has had a great year this year. Been up and down recently. Has been touched up like you said. But then I saw Shane Bieber. And Shane Bieber is right now the king of the strikeouts. He is 2 away from 100. First one to get there this year. Right now, his number is at 9.5. I have it at Bovada. High number. But I think people are starting to know something, Jimmy. It's one of those things. I think Vegas knows something. I need the bookmakers to know something here. Like you said, last 2 outings weren't great. Bieber against Minnesota, 5 1/3, 3 earnings, not great. At Seattle, of all places, Seattle, the place where everyone dominates. 4 2/3, 3 earnings, 7 Ks, 4 walks for Bieber. Not great. But I did it yesterday with Glasnow and Minor. They had struggles coming into this start. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take Shane Bieber over 9.5 strikeouts. He pitched against these Tigers on opening day, 12 strikeouts then. He dominates them routinely. He strikes out these guys at 37.5% clip. Jamie Candelario has 9. Scope has 4. Nick Goodrum has 7. Miguel Cabrera has 4. They strike out. It's the Tigers. This is a good get-right spot for these guys. So give me a little Shane Bieber over 9.5 strikeouts. I had it even money earlier. It is now down to -103. So the word is spreading, Jimmy. The word is spreading.
Very interesting look here from our man, Jose, coming off a big win. Jose, average line that he's given out on the show, +103. A lot of respect for that. He's sitting at 2-4, down just 1.91 units, and can get right here this week. He could finish off this week in the black with a win today and a win tomorrow. So yes, against Bieber, they're 167, 471 OPS, 39 strikeouts and 96 at bats for the Tiger batters. 2 home runs have been hit, one by Willie Castro, one by Miggy. And then against Boyd, 220, 677 OPS against Miggy. Let's see what we're dealing with here from a market perspective. Jose already talked about this 3.5 on the total. And Bet Online, Bookmaker, Heritage, and UWager have already moved it to 3. So they're thinking that there's going to be some excellent pitching in this one. And then full game money lines and totals here for Jose's spot on this Thursday card. We have, let's just pull it up right here. Sorry. We have the total at 7. It was juiced to the over. Now it's juiced to the under. Bieber and the Indians opened up at -164. They're now at -159. A 5-cent move towards the Detroit Tigers. There's Don't Ask, Don't Tell. You ain't seen nothing yet. Look, guy. We love you. Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Love you. Okay. Very, very interesting. David Sharp says, I can't bet a K prop when the pitcher hasn't hit it in 3 straight. It's like catching a falling knife.
I'm ready to catch that falling knife, God damn it.
Being ahead of the market.
I'm ready. I'm going to catch it like this, and it's going to feel great, Jimmy, because guess what? We're going to win it. I told you. Vegas knows something. I can feel it in my loins. They know that Shane Bieber wants to go out there and dominate again. And I understand. I had a feeling. I had a feeling that David Sharp was going to say something about this K-prop because we are K-prop brothers, and I'm sure he's done his research on this one too because Shane Bieber is just one of those guys that you see him on the mound, you want to bet the K-prop because you know he's going to dominate. But I truly think against a struggling Tigers lineup, they've been bad all year. He's had success against them before. But, hey, Jimmy, guess what? I mean, I said it on the show the other day. If you tail one of my picks, the stickers.
Oh, okay, we're good. We're
the
good.
stickers.
Buddy. No, we're good. There he is, Jose.
By the way, Jimmy, here, I made this for you. I thought you would enjoy this. That sticker comment, it prompted me to just remind everyone that it is this kind of relationship with us. It is very tenacious, and I think this is your favorite segment of the show. Don't you lie.
Oh, I do. I love it. I love it immensely. We can't go wrong. The more you lose, the funnier it gets. But I do want you to win. I do.
Yeah, we're winning. Guess what? We're hot, Jimmy. I said last night or last morning, don't let me get hot, damn it. Don't let me get hot.
There he is. There he is, Jose, Crown Prince of Venezuela, coming to us with a Bieber over 9.5 Ks at -103. All right, let's get back. I'm not moving on that spot in Cleveland, Detroit. We move on to 1:10 p.m. Eastern. Sandy, I'm going to keep my streak of not tailing Jose alive. So we're on my 7th. This will be my 7th straight bet of not tailing Jose, and he's sitting at 2-4 on the season. San Diego Padres 32-18, 14-8 on the road at Milwaukee Brewers 24-25, 11-14 at home. There's Brian Watson in the house. Great to see you, Bri. Akbar Saloev, great to see you as well. American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The roof is closed. Ryan Weathers going up against Adrian Hauser. Ryan Weathers is very good. And why don't I have the Brewers versus lefties information, which I should have up here? I missed that somehow this morning. All right, let's go. Ryan Weathers, 2-1, 1.48 ERA, 0.92 WHIP, 30 in the third, 22 Ks, 9 walks, 3 home runs allowed. Last start didn't look good. It was his first really rough outing. And it was at home against Seattle, a team that has very poor numbers against lefties, although they hit Cole Irving, much to my chagrin, a couple days ago. And they hit Ryan Weathers. And you wonder if now there's enough tape on Ryan Weathers that people know what he's going to throw. 4 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run. It was a solo shot, 2 walks, and 2 Ks. So it wasn't that bad. I mean, he allowed 1 earned run, but he couldn't get through more than 4 innings, and he allowed 6 hits. And of the rinky-dink variety, Adrian Hauser, 3-5, 4.53 ERA, 1.40 WHIP, 43 2/3, 38 Ks, 20 walks, 8 home runs. In his last start, he got touched up by a team that smashed his righties in the Reds. He went 4 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 home runs allowed, 4 walks, 4 Ks. So let's move over to the sortable stats here very quickly and see what we are dealing with from the left side. Come on. Show your face. Here we go. First, lefties. for the Brew Crew. They are 17th in MLB in OPS with a 700 OPS. They're hitting 224 with a 700 OPS, 13 home runs against left-handed pitching. What up, Carlos Jetton, my guy? Jarek White says Padres money line. Jessica Easton in the house. CT Bay says Yelich day off. Machado still out. Yes, Manny Machado, right shoulder inflammation. Was scheduled to take batting practice Tuesday, and the Padres are optimistic that he'll avoid the injured list. Playing Thursday might be too much to ask, and Grisham is on the IL, so he's gone. Padres are hitting 247, 13 OPS versus righties. That number's going up. Padres bullpen 2.42 ERA, 1.07 WHIP, converted 19 and 25 save opportunities. The Brewers bullpen 4.60 ERA, 1.34 WHIP. They've converted 13 of 20 save opportunities. TJ says my best bet of the day is Padres money line. Viper MB says San Diego's 11-1 straight up in their last 12 games. Jarek White on the Padres. TJ on the Padres. And North Ender looking for Jeff Slaughter soccer parlays because the man is being eaten. All right, let's go to batter versus pitcher here. A little baseball data, see what we're dealing with. The Brewers have never seen Ryan Weathers, but the Padres have seen Adrian Hauser, and they're hitting just 147 with a 422 OPS. They're 5 for 34 with 3 singles and 2 doubles and 34 at-bats. K-Paul VIP says Padres or pass. And the total is sitting at 8. But interestingly enough, Bet365 has moved theirs to 8.5. They just did that an hour and 10 minutes ago. Why would they be the first book to take the over? Obviously, some European conglomerates coming together. And Jeff Slaughter says Discord today, Tales from the Pitch section. Just head over to the Pub Sports Radio Discord, and you'll get your soccer parlays. And Slaughter's being eaten. Williams Fun Video says, when you're moving back to our city, Vancouver, to me, when I'm more successful. I will move back to Vancouver. I miss Vancouver very much. Okay. Brian Watson, no. For those of you who are joining us late, the star of the taint play of the day, our Matt Randall, is son, Briggsy, is having major surgery at Mott's Children's Hospital today. He's as we speak. And it's been going on for 3 hours. And Matt is there, of course, with his family leading him through that. And Briggsy's an extremely tough kid. And he's been through a lot in his very young life. And we know that he's going to get through this. And that's the hat I'm wearing. Onstead Wildcats. That's the team that our Matt Randall coaches youth baseball for. Okay. Much love to you, Fat Wally. And TJ says Hauser shut them out last year. That's why numbers are good. But this year he gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 4 in the third. And Truth says, I killed it last night in the Jazz game. Nice work, Truth. A lot of you guys were eating in that game. I cashed the first half over easily, but should have jumped on the Jazz train with you guys. Okay, no move for me in Padres Brewers. I'm starting to think that Weathers might hit that wall sort of that rookies hit when the tape gets out on them. We will see. And this is not the Padres lineup of old. Now, I've still only made one move on the Marlins -1. Let's move on to 3:10 p.m. Eastern. We have the Kansas City Royals at Tampa Bay Rays. You know what? Let's just look at the market move very quickly here on that spot for the Padres. Padres open up at -134. They're now at -111. There's been a 23-cent move towards the Milwaukee Brewers. A 23-cent move towards the Milwaukee Brewers. And Razor Sharp locked in the Brewers. Razor Sharp is so astute reading the market and done a nice job there. I get it. Okay, 3:10 p.m. Eastern. Kansas City Royals 23-24, 11-11 on the road. Tampa Bay Rays 31-20, 12-13 at home. Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. We have Brady Singer 2-3, 4.00 ERA, 1.33 WHIP, 45 innings, 46 Ks, 17 walks, 3 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 in the third, 6 hits, 3 earned runs allowed, no homers, 2 walks, 6 Ks, a quality start, and a 7-5 win at home versus Detroit. Going up against Shane McClanahan, 1-0. 4.03 ERA, 1.25 whip, 22 and a third, 26 Ks, 7 walks, 3 home runs. The Royals struggle. They have no power versus lefties. They get hits, hitting 243, but just a 663 OPS. Rays versus righties, 236, 738 OPS. Royals bullpen, 4.18 ERA, 1.40 whip. They've converted 12 to 19 save opportunities. Do you want to know another bullpen that's rolling right now? That's the Rays bullpen. They've been very strong of late. 3.55 ERA, 1.21 whip. Converted 15 of 23 save opportunities. Viper says this total's gone under in 5 of Kansas City's last 5 games on the road. TJ says, okay, I have to ask why so much value on the market. 99% of bettors lose money. So if money's coming in, the numbers say it's usually wrong side. Am I way off here? Yeah, you are off there because it's when Razor makes moves, it's when the public is on one side and the market is moving on the other side. Accentuating the idea that 99% of gamblers are losing. So let's talk about that spot here. You have 66% of the cash on the Padres and 80% of the tickets on the Padres. And the market is moving towards the Brewers. So the books that beat the public are creating a situation to get more Padres money. Why would that be? Okay. And so that, again, DC says contrarian plays. No, TJ, this is where you at. No, this is it. This is what this show is about. We work together to find angles, to learn more, to get better, to improve, to beat the books. So this is where you ask those questions. Nobody worry about questions here. That's what this show is about. All of us getting better. So Royals, Tampa. Let's take a look at the market move here in Kansas City, Tampa. Tampa opening up at minus 166. They're now at minus 176. So a 10-cent move towards Tampa. This total opened up at 7.5. It was a pick 'em. It's now slightly juiced to the under. So about a 4-cent move towards the under. Neither pitcher has seen the opposition. So they don't have Brady Singer's number. They don't have McClanahan's number. Joe Free in the house. Jesus Ortiz joining us. So how do we bet Royals Tampa? Well, the first thing I would think of is probably another sleepy start. And I want that first 5 under 4. I don't know if it's still going to be available. We have one book that's already moved to 3.5. What book is that? Pinnacle hasn't moved to 3.5. 3.5 yet. But Bookmaker has. I expect the other books to follow suit. North Ender says, I think the Royals are live. Razor says, if everyone is betting the Padres minus 150, why would Vegas move the line to minus 130 or so for more people to bet the Padres? It's because they want you to bet the Padres. Exactly. Okay, so first 5 under 4, if it's available, and if it's available with not too much juice, I will bet it as soon as the show ends. Let's just see what it is right now at my book. Wow. It's at minus 105, so I wish I could bet that immediately. Clearly they're behind this market move. If Bookmaker just moved it to 3.5, and they just moved. No, they moved it 30 minutes ago. Wow, that's wild. Why would Bet365 have it at minus 105 to the under when a sharp book like Bookmakers had it between minus 118 and minus 125 before moving it to 3.5? Wow. Okay. There's DJ Big Boss in the house. All right. We move on to 4:05 p.m. Eastern. The next double dip. As I said, 4 games going on in New York City. We have game 1, Toronto Blue Jays 24-23, 14-12 on the road. At the Yankees 28-20, 14-10 at home. Yankee Stadium in Bronx, New York. 78 Fahrenheit clear, 9 miles per hour sideways up to right. And we get to see, hopefully we wanted to see him yesterday. We get to see Alek Manoah. He's the 5th ranked prospect in the Blue Jays system. 23 years old, 11th overall pick in 2019 out of West Virginia University. Started 3 games in AAA Buffalo this year and was incredible. 27 strikeouts in 17 innings. He went 3-0. He allowed 5 earned runs, 27 Ks, just 3 walks. Giancarlo Stanton ran the bases and took batting practice swings at Yankee Stadium on Tuesday. He could return to the lineup this week. He could be in the lineup for one of these games. Viper says the total's gone under in 7 of Toronto's last 8 games when playing the New York Yankees. Jarek White, no. I don't know if I would. That was what I was saying. Like, how much juice do you want? So you have to ask yourself, Jarek White, it's a simple step there. When you have a spot with the juice, you have to say, what is the probability of you cashing the first 5 under 4? Remember that there's a high possibility of a push. Not a high possibility, but there's a legitimate possibility of a push. So if you're dealing with a minus 125, you have to ask yourself, the implied probability is 55.56% of the time. Do I think that 56% of the time I'll cash that first 5 under 4? And I would say no. I would say no. I would want less juice than minus 120. I wouldn't bet at minus 125. So I would want the probability, the implied probability to be back to down around 53.5. Okay, so Manoah going up against Domingo Germán. Domingo Germán being very good, 4-2, 3.05 ERA, 1.11 WHIP, 44 in the third, 42 Ks, 8 walks, 7 home runs. Last start, he went 7 innings, 6 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 5 Ks, and a 2-0 win at Texas. Blue Jays rating 254, 753 OPS versus righties, and that number is going up. Yankees versus righties, 225, 699 OPS. Blue Jays bullpen, 3.59 ERA, 1.27 WHIP. Converted 9 of 15 save opportunities. The Yankees bullpen, 3 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. Converted 14 of 17 save opportunities. They've not seen Manoah, but the Jays have seen Germán, and they've hit him. 293 with an 862 OPS. They've hit Germán. And you first look at, has Vladdy hit Germán? Because he's rocking right now. He's 2 for 7 with a double and a home run. Bichette, 2 for 7 with a double and a home run. Simeon, 4 for 11 with 2 doubles. So the big bats hit him. There's Stu Boo in the house. All right, so let's take a look at what the market is doing here. And we know generally there's a Yankees tax, but when a stud pitcher comes up, a fan base usually backs him. So now, will that be counteracted by the public fading a pitcher with his first start at Yankee Stadium? Well, money's moved on the Jays. They opened at plus 132. They're now at plus 118. So another problem here is that Bet365 is a book that is probably, the most popular Canadian book. And that's changing, with books like Sports Interaction getting bigger and bigger. But because of that, because it being such a predominantly Canadian book, or that so much Canadian money goes into it, it's a plus 105 at Bet365, which is bullshit. You're getting a plus 114 to 118 everywhere else. There's a plus 110 at Bodog, but everywhere else you're getting a plus 115 or plus 116 or plus 118. So I would have to take a plus 105. I mean, that's so I can't bet it. I'm not going to take a 10 cent worse price because of Canadians betting Manoah. So Von Polo in the house. Great to see you, Von Polo. So let's just take, I'm very curious here. I know we got to be moving faster than I'm moving here, but I'd like to see where the money is. 90% of the money is on the Yankees, and just 59% of the tickets on the Yankees. Whew. Wow, that's interesting. Isn't that extremely interesting? So the market's moving towards the Jays. Ella. Hey there. I'm in the middle of a show. Yeah, they're here, and we're capping right now. So we got to get back focusing. Okay, but you want to say bye? You can say bye to everyone.
Bye.
Okay, I love you. Okay, sorry. Okay, I find that extremely interesting that so much money is on the Yankees and a small amount of tickets are on the Yankees. That makes me think the Yankees are the play. It makes me think the Yankees are the bet. It makes me think that I should fade this highly thought of prospect in his first start because he's had a lot of time to think about it. He was supposed to pitch yesterday. He's been sitting there in the Bronx, this hollow ground, Babe Ruth statue in center field, and he's been sitting there going, when am I going to pitch? When am I going to pitch? I'm going to pitch when I'm pitch. All right, I'm going to move on the New York Yankees in game 1. I'm going to back Domingo Germán. Wow, I was not expecting to do that. And, of course, I'm going to get a much better line at my book because of it. Wow. Very, very interesting. Let's just see what that is right now. Wow. I find that just extremely interesting. Okay. Thank you guys for the love for Ella. I'm very proud to be your dad, and she opened the door and came right here to see you guys. So you don't want to ever stop that from happening. Okay, let's move on. Edition Yankees game 1. Let's talk about game 2. Toronto Blue Jays Yankees. Same weather, 76 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 10 miles per hour, sideways up to right. Robbie Ray, 2-1, 3.42 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, 47 1/3, 55 Ks, 10 walks, 12 homers. Last start, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run, no walks, 7 Ks, and a 3-1 loss at home to the Rays. Robbie Ray pitching really well. We always talk about what's Robbie Ray's problem. It's walks. He's a ton of walks, so many walks, but not this year. He's changed his positioning on the bump, on the rubber. I'm not sure, it might be more mental than anything else, but he's changed where he plants and where he puts his foot, the setup foot, and 10 walks to 55 Ks. Jordan Montgomery, there's Trot Wam in the house. He'll be jumping on here very, very soon. Just kids are going to be asking for all the picks. The first show she ever went on was a horse racing show, and she came on and she said, I forgot how I don't want to misquote her, but she said, you guys like horses. I like monkeys. That's what she said. 7 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 11 Ks, and a 2-1 win at home versus the White Sox for Jordan Montgomery. And that was the first spot where the White Sox didn't beat a lefty in like a year and a half, Oh, no. Trinity says, my basement just flooded. Someone give me a lock to pay for my losses. Oh, no. Trinity, okay. It's a 9 o'clock gun hat. 9 o'clock gun hat. I have a bunch of them. My brother owns that company, 9 o'clock gun. Okay, so Yankees versus lefties, 254, 745 OPS. 244, 699 OPS. Jays versus lefties, I hit them. 254, 745 OPS. Blue Jays bullpen, 3.59 ERA, 1.27 WHIP. They're very good. Same with the Yankees bullpen, 3 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. This Jays bullpen has been taxed, and they went through a real bad run, and we're not sure if they got through it and they're start pitching well again. We are not sure at this point. And terrible news. I hate hearing that. Turnsy. So Jays, Yankees game 2. I want to see what happens in game 1 before I move on it. But if, let's say, the Yankees win 5-1 in game 1, then I'll have some interest in backing the Blue Jays in game 2. And do we have a market for game 2 here? Yes. Montgomery opening up at -118, now -119. It's not much going on there. Okay, let's move on to Cincinnati Reds at Washington Nationals. 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Cincinnati Reds 21-25, 10-12 on the road at Washington Nationals. 20-24, 12-11 at home. Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. 80 Fahrenheit, clear, 4 miles per hour in. Nice pitching matchup. We have Sonny Gray, 0-3, 3.96 ERA, 1.46 WHIP, 36 1/3, 47 Ks, 18 walks, 6 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 4 walks, 8 Ks, and a 4-3 loss at home versus Milwaukee. Strasburg, 1-1, 4.11 ERA, 1.37 whip, 15 and third, 15 Ks, 11 walks, 3 home runs. I thought his last start was an opportunity to get right in a 4-2 win at home versus the Orioles, and I didn't bet it, and I should have. We were getting a great price on Strasburg, and he looked good. He was trying to be perfect. He went 5 and a third, allowed just 1 hit, but 4 walks and 4 Ks. Anthony with the flooded basement lock of the day. Phoenix Lakers over 212.5. Interesting going. That's a really interesting look, Anthony. I love that. And Trot Wam's going to be on this show here in a second. So Nick Senzel undergone arthroscopic surgery on his left knee. So he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. The Reds bullpen is terrible, but they smash righties, 255, 774 OPS, and Nats don't have power against righties, 250, 707 OPS. Nats bullpen, 3.74 ERA, 1.23. They've been quite good this year, just not very many save opportunities. The Washington Nationals have had 10 save opportunities in 44 games. So let's move to baseball data here. Against Sonny Gray, they're hitting 274 with a 796 OPS. And against Steven Strasburg, 289 with a 926 OPS. Interesting. So the batters have been able to get to these guys. And from a market move perspective, let's go to money lines and totals here. We have Cincy. This total opened up at 6. It's now at 6.5. God, I should have taken that over 6 when it was available. Oh, I should have taken that. And Strasburg opening up at minus 135. He's now minus 127 and 8 cent move towards Gray. And Brian Watson says Tavares skating. That's great news. No move for me here in Reds Nationals. No move for me here in Reds Nationals. All right, we have shoot. Oh, okay, I got to speed this up. Too many games left. We got to get to NBA and NHL. Next up, we have 8 p.m. Eastern. Baltimore Orioles 17 and 32, 11 and 14 on the road. The Chicago White Sox 28 and 20, 16 and 9 at home at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago, Illinois. 58 Fahrenheit rain, 15 miles per hour sideways in. Do they think this game will be canceled? Let's go to that right now. Do they think this game will be canceled? So then we can just skip it. And they do. 68% chance of rain. It's in red. Zimmerman cease. So let's not spend too much time on it. DC, I don't think I'm going to be able. I'm having a tough time on Thursday nights. I can get to the ponies on Wednesday nights, but I'm having a really tough time on Thursday nights. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I can, DC. It doesn't look good right now, but I'll find out more in a few hours. Okay, I'm going to skip this game. I expect it to be rained out. Obviously, White Sox smash lefties. So if this game was to go, Cease coming off a bad start at Yankee Stadium. He's come back home. I expect him to have a nice start here. So if this game goes, I would like to back the White Sox with their 280, 832 OPS versus lefties. But at what price? And there's been a 13-cent move towards them from minus 200 to minus 213. There's Ron Lofton. Great to see you. Okay, so let's move on to 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Los Angeles Angels at Oakland A's. Angels are 22 and 27, 9 and 13 on the road. A's 29, 22, 15, 15 at home. We're at Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. 62 Fahrenheit, clear, 12 miles per hour, out to straightaway center. We have Shohei Ohtani, 1-0, 2.37 ERA, 1.25 whip, 30 and a third, 45 Ks, 22 walks, 3 home runs allowed. In his last start, 4 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walk, 5 Ks, and a 3-2 loss at home versus the Indians. Going up against Chris Bassett, 4-2, 3.69 ERA, 1.10 whip, 61 innings, 65 Ks, 15 walks, 5 home runs. In his last start, he looked good at the Angels, who are smashing righties. And now they're seeing him again, which is never easy. In his last start, he went 7 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks, and a 6-2 win. Angels 257, 746 OPS versus righties. A's versus righties 221, 708 OPS. This Angels bullpen is bad, 5.03 ERA, 1.46 whip. A's bullpen 4.19 ERA, 1.31 whip. Viper MB says the total has gone over in 8 of Oakland's last 11 games. Raymond Reddington making a move on the Angels money line. And I get it. I get it if they just saw Bassett. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of tricks. Let's see what they do against Bassett. 250 with a 664 OPS. I mean, he's coming off a good start against them. David Fletcher, 7 of 15. If there's anyone you want to get hit by in that lineup, it's probably him. Rendon, 2 for 9 with a homer. They have 1 home run and 60 at-bats against them. And Shohei hasn't seen him. Shohei, they're hitting 150 with a 620 OPS. Well, let's see. Is there a Shohei tax associated with this? Oakland opens up at minus 133, is now minus 146. Wow. That's telling. Isn't that telling? Wow. Market thinks Ohtani going to lose tonight. And let's see where the money is. You would think that the money's going to be all over the Angels. And look at that. So 56% of the tickets are on the Angels and just 32% of the money from Sports Insights. 56% of the tickets are just 32% of the money. So sharps are betting the A's here and fading Ohtani. And it's probably too late to hammer it just because of the market move. But, and this is a big but if you want the A's, I bet you the public is going to come in on the Angels all day. So if you think that the sharps are onto something here, Sports Insight, by the way, just moved the A's to minus one, or Sports Interaction just moved the A's to minus 155. If you like the A's, I say wait. Let the public money come in on Ohtani, which is something I'm going to look into. So I'll just... Okay. We move on to 9:40 p.m. Eastern. 3 games left, and then we'll bring on Wham Bam for a little NBA action. We have St. Louis Cardinals 27-22, 12-12 on the road to Arizona Diamondbacks 18-32, 9-11 at home. We're at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. 98 Fahrenheit clear, 4 miles per hour in. The roof is open. By the way, the roof will be open every day this week except Saturday. Just that'll help you guys with your plan of attack. I believe it's, I don't want to mess this up. It's so important to know whether it's open or not. Here we go. The Arizona roof is open. Sorry. See, thank you. Okay, so the roof is open tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday night. And it's closed Sunday in their matinee at 1:10 p.m. So roof confirmed, open Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. Carlos Martinez, 3-4, 4.18 ERA, 1.12 whip, 47 in the third, 24 Ks, 15 walks, 3 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 2 Ks, and 12-3 loss at home versus the Cubs. Going up against Matt Peacock. Matt Peacock, 22 innings so far this year. He's a nice low whip, 1.09, but he's allowed some runs, 4 home runs in 22 innings for a 4.91 ERA. 15 Ks, 3 walks. In his last start, it was at the Dodgers. And, you know, this is confirmed. What do we know about the Dodgers? They smashed righties, and they didn't smash Peacock. He went 5 in the third, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, and a 4-2 loss at the Dodgers. Interesting, because these Cardinals don't smash righties. Both bullpens are bad. And this total sitting at 9.5 juice to the under. That's extremely interesting. I guess the roof's open, so the ball's going to fly. But are we really going to see 6 runs? Let's see this first 5 total here. Oh, no, it's at 5. Damn. I have interest in the they're only going to score 4. And this opened at 5.5. This was at 5.5 for 11 minutes this morning at Bookmaker before it went to a 5. I think that Peacock must have been very impressive against the Dodgers. I didn't watch that game. Bama Boy has St. Louis locked in. Thank you, Ergo Caustic. Thank you. Ron Lofton says, on cards, run line, my D-backs are a dog slobber, says Ron Lofton. But what about this Peacock? I mean, that was an impressive performance against a Dodgers team that just rakes against righties. And the Diamondbacks are just 229, 684 OPS versus righties. So maybe the first 5 under is the spot. TJ saying it too. Yeah, you know, maybe it is. I mean, it's too bad I didn't get the 5.5. Let's just see if that 5.5 was ever available at Bet365 quickly here. Oh, it's not even showing it to me. Let's see what Pinnacle's done with it. Pinnacle knew better. Pinnacle didn't open it at 5.5. Pinnacle opened it at 5. But Pinnacle's taking money to the over. I don't know. I'm lukewarm on that. I'm not going to bet this after the show. I'm just going to leave this as a lean to the first 5 under and keep an eye on the market throughout the day. And Mike Macklin saying Luplo out for the Indians, loving that under today. Okay, we move on to 10 p.m. Eastern. Do we have a pitcher for the LA Dodgers? No. Still says undecided. Does anybody know who's pitching? Anybody? Do you have any idea who's pitching for the Dodgers? Because the market's coming out with an 8. Okay. I don't know who's pitching still. We do know that the Dodgers are going up against a lefty. And they hit just 219 with a 671 OPS versus lefties. So, and Brandon Belt not going to be there for the Giants, which hurts them. And Gerald Jones has great price on St. Louis, better team, full St. Louis for me. Look, I mean, that's going to be I would imagine, let's just check this out, but I imagine that's going to be the public sentiment is to back St. Louis. 77% of the tickets are on St. Louis, 69% of the money. And here, look at this. Ooh, for you guys looking at the under. Oh, shit, look at this. 49% of the money is of the tickets, is on the over, but just 29% of the cash. So there's some big bets made on this under. Wow, that's very, very interesting. Net under, the St. Louis under. Okay, so I'd like to see who's pitching for the Dodgers because the Dodgers are hitting just 219, 671 OPS versus lefties. And another bullpen that's really gotten their shit together is the Dodgers bullpen, 3.64 ERA, 1.35 whip. All right, let's get into this last game of the card, 10 p.m. Eastern. Texas Rangers 22-29, 9-16 on the road. At Seattle Mariners 23-27, 12-12 at home. And Puzzler says Alex Vesla listed as LA expected primary. Thank you. I'm going to have to study that, Puzzler. We're in T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. The roof is going to be closed, and it's a bullpen day for the Rangers, I imagine. I mean, how far – I mean, what do they think Colby Allard's going to be able to do? And there's been times when I've liked Colby Allard, and I don't know if that's helped my pocketbook. Yeah, they have Vesla as a primary. Good call. Colby Allard, I guess they're going to go as long as they possibly can. Chad Cann saying Arizona bullpen's a hot mess. No doubt about that. Colby Allard, 1-0, 3.15 ERA, 1.25 whip, 20 innings, 23 K, 6 walks, 2 home runs. They've been using him out of the bullpen. In his last appearance, he went an inning and a third, 1 walk, 1 K, no earned runs. Chris Flexen. So we talked about Tyler Anderson for the Pirates, who's coming in off a game where he got destroyed. The same thing's happening with Chris Flexen here. Chris Flexen coming in off getting destroyed by the Padres. 10 hits, 8 earned runs, 2 home runs, 1 walk, 1 K in an inning and in 2/3 against the Padres. Rangers rating 231, 697 OPS versus righties. The Mariners aren't hitting lefties, but they just hit Cole Irving. But Colby Allard is tricky. But God, I think I fall for lefties like an idiot. Rangers bullpen 4.16 ERA, 1.35 whip, converted 12 of 18 save opportunities. Mariners bullpen 3.97 ERA, 1.22 whip, converted 14 of 22 save opportunities. Let's see what the market has done with this spot. Seattle Mariners flexing, opening up at minus 107. It's now minus 105. Small move towards Texas. This total opened up at 9. It's now at 8.5. Viper says total's gone over in 4 of Texas' last 5 games of playing Seattle. He says they both trash, and Allard and Flexen. I've never trusted Flexen. Kevin Riley says Seattle is a go-against team. They just took 2 or 3 in Oakland. But I hear you. Let's see if the pitchers have faced the opposition. Against Allard, they're hitting 240 with an 887 OPS. So it's Kyle Seager. Kyle Seager 4 for 8 with 2 home runs. So they're 6 for 25, but 4 of those 6 hits. So they're 2 for 21 against everybody else, or against Allard, the rest of the team. And Flexen, they're hitting 423 with a 1.137 OPS. Wow. They're 11 for 26. How do you not back the Rangers here? I ask you. The Mariners were in Oakland yesterday, and then they come back home. Feels like a Ranger spot. Feels like a Ranger spot. God, I've been losing money back in this shit Rangers ball club. I'm going to leave that as just a lean right now, but I certainly am leaning towards moving on the Texas Rangers. All right, we are about to start NBA. Let's review our MLB action. And we have 2 games off and rolling. And our David Sharp gets his first strikeout from Lopez. Jarek White, also on Rangers money line. And TJ says Rangers money line, Mariners pen got used up too. Yeah, they sure did. Yeah, I like it. And they traveled. I like it. But obviously the market expects Flexen to have a much better start. Okay, so let's move on here. And in a Rockies game, the Rockies have a runner on in the top of the first against Stroman. So let's review action. My first bet, the only bet I've already made today, was on the Marlins -1. I got plus 100. Then there's not a lot of action for me. Jose is on the Shane Bieber over 9.5 Ks prop. I'm going to move on the first 5 under 4 if it's a nice price for me in the Royals. Tampa Bay Rays. I moved on the Yankees -1 in the game 1 of the double dip, going against our stud Alek Manoah and backing Domingo Germán. Nothing for me in Reds Nats or Orioles White Sox, but if that game does go, then I think Cease will have a bounce back start, and I'm interested with the White Sox against the lefty. I'm going to wait and see if some money comes in on the Angels, public money comes in on the Angels. That first 5 under in Cardinals Diamondbacks is something I'm interested in. And I'm interested in the Rangers. So not a lot of official moves, but I'll tweet out whatever I bet, and it'll be within those games. All right. So let's move on to NBA. NBA, we're going to have our guy Trot Wam joining us here in a second. Let's make sure he's all good to go. And he is good to go. All right. NBA, we have 3 giant games up. And if I didn't double dip on that Seth Curry look, it would have been a nice day because the Russell Westbrook rebounds under was the easy casher. And that first half over in the Grizz Jazz was an easy casher. So let's get back to work. Please welcome to the show, coming to us straight from Long Beach, California, our guy and your guy, OG Lowbagger, Trot Wam in the house. Wham Bam, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm kind of blending in with the background here, but it's the freshest shirt. So it is. What's up with you guys, man? How you guys doing, man? It's a pleasure to be back, man. Hopefully we can make it happen again, bro.
Let's do it. Let's do it. It was a good day for you yesterday. Let's keep that rolling. And we're going to start with the 7:30 p.m. Eastern Bucks Heat game. And we'll let Viper NB and Dennis Garcia lead us into this. Viper NB says Bucks sweep at plus 200, just locked it in. That's one thing that bothered me that I didn't. We talked about the Sixers plus 210 for the sweep yesterday, and I didn't move on that. He says Miami has no answer. Dennis Garcia says Miami money line under 226. Milwaukee first quarter team total under 27.5 is what I tweeted. I also played Miami first half -1. Gerald Jones says Milwaukee land knockout blow, riding Portland, Denver over. So the pace in the first 2 games in Milwaukee, 101 possessions a game. After getting beaten by the Heat, most recently in the second round last year, badly. Also in 2013, but who cares about that? The Heat play the Bucks tonight with their backs against the wall, and Wham, 17,000 fans.
Yeah.
Finally. Feels so good saying that. Heat's largest and most electric crowd of the season. Butler, 13.5 points a game in the first 2. Bam, 12.5. Butler averaged 21.5 during the year. Bam, 18.7. And they're getting destroyed by Giannis and Middleton. So that is the setup. Let's go to the market and then have our Wham Bam take it away. Here we go. Spreads and totals. We are sitting here with Miami opening up as a 1-point favorite, and now the Bucks are 1.5-point favorites. So we've seen the flip. We also seen the first -2s on the board for the Bucks. This total opened up at 227.5 and it's dropped all the way down to 224 at some books. There are 224.5s and 225s. Here we go, Wham Bam. Bucks Heat, take it away.
Yeah, man. I think I'm kind of riding with you. I want to say I just heard you say you're liking the Heat here in this spot here. I kind of think the Heat bounce back here. I don't want to take them full game though. I'm going to take them first half. I think the Heat they do bounce back. The crowd will be there, lighting everything up. I am concerned, though. I am concerned because it doesn't seem like they need Giannis too much to beat this Heat team. It doesn't seem like they need him that much, even though he's doing what he has to do. But it's not a normal Giannis, imposing offense that you're getting from him. I believe that this Heat team just needs to make their shots, bro. They're just not making shots, man. Like me and you spoke earlier this year, and I told you that I didn't have any anticipation that the Heat was going to be going to be good because I thought they had an easier road to the finals last year. Going against a team that, like Giannis, they didn't change anything. It seems like they made adjustments by having guys come in to this lineup, PJ Tucker, Drew Holiday. Those guys make a big difference. But I believe that this Heat team is just not as good as Milwaukee. I think long term, you definitely could see this being over in 5. I don't think it's going to be over in 4, though. I don't think that they're going to get swept here. But I'm going to take Miami in the first half. I just think that they're going to come back with the fans there and make their shots. They just need to make their shots, man. It's not like this Milwaukee team is a really good defensive team on the perimeter. They were the worst perimeter team in the whole year. I'm kind of surprised they haven't been able to blow a big lead on this team yet. Miami hasn't, but I think we're going to get that today. So I'm taking the Miami Heat first half, and I took a money line. I think right now, if you're doing as far as a consensus, you could get the first half money line at let me see, my apologies. Right now it's at minus 135, I believe. I got it a little earlier than that. So you know what? Matter of fact, let me just take it here because I need them to win by the points anyway. I'll just take for the show purposes. I'll take the -1 Miami Heat first half. That just makes the most sense to me rather than taking the money line official show.
Very, very interesting market moves here. So I'm not sure what to make of this, but we have 68%, and this is from Sports Insights, 68% of the tickets on the Bucks, but just 35% of the cash. So 65% of the cash is on the Heat, and the market is moving towards the Milwaukee Bucks. That's spread cash. So money line cash, which 59% of the tickets are on the Heat, 65% of the money's on the Heat, and yet they're creating an environment that would make you want to bet the Heat. That's scary.
It makes sense, man.
The market is telling us the Bucks are going to win.
Right. Or the market is telling us that they don't want no more Heat money, man. And that could be just an indication there. But honestly, I thought this line was going to be probably at like 3 Heat. So the fact that it is right here, I think that could be just, smoke and mirrors. But it's one of those things, man. You just don't want to. I'm not taking. That's not really a part of my cap as far as what the line is right now. My cap is basically what they're proven to do. Milwaukee, they're proven to give up the 3. What we haven't seen from Miami is not being able to execute on the perimeter, along with, honestly, not being able to finish down low either. They're not able to finish down low as much as well. So I think that they're going to see some things open up for them on the outside, starting to go back inside. And Jimmy Butler has to ball out, bro. Like, we're not going to see pedestrian Jimmy Butler today for sure.
Yeah. Why don't we look at the prop market here about Jimmy? Because I expect Jimmy to play hard tonight. But another thing with the total, 60% of the tickets on the over, 56% of the cash on the over, and it's dropped 3 points. I mean, this is very interesting and tricky. Let's move over to
I'll just mention this as well. That kind of goes against what I'm thinking as well. I think this is an over spot, man. I think this is an over spot as well. So I'm on the other side of the market at this point, basically.
And you've been fine doing that in your history that we've worked together. When you've gone against market moves, I believe you have a positive ROI. In fact, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but so Butler at 24.5 points, juiced to the under. That could mean that it's moved from 23.5 to 24.5. I don't know what it opened at, at like DraftKings or
openers there. Yeah.
So then, if I was moving with Butler, I would be interested in his points, assists, and rebounds. and Butler is at 37.5. Why is Bam not succeeding in this series?
Maybe it's the lack of penetration from the Heat, I guess. Or I mean, what would you think? What would you think that Bam is really helpful for this team offensively? It'd probably be like on a pick and roll, and you have that guy just sealing down the paint on the baseline. I think that Jimmy Butler is the key for them. The reason why they're not playing really well. I mean, he had 10 points the last game, 17 points the game before, shot 22 shots in game 1. That game he went over that total. I believe you're talking about. You said 32 and a half points, rebound, and assists
for Jimmy.
Yeah, wasn't it 36?
No, it's 37.5.
37. So he was slightly under that in game 1. So here, I'm thinking he bounced back and has at least 25. You know what I'm saying? At least 25. Probably still shooting about 20 shots, though. I like that over, man. I like the over. Maybe we could probably isolate it and get the points and assists, because he has to distribute the ball as well if he's penetrating, man. Like, they just can't let this happen, man. Like, if this is how their season's going to end, then I may have really overvalued Miami Heat.
Our guy, MMA Locker Room Mills, great call yesterday. He had over 2.5 threes for Donovan Mitchell. He got that in the first quarter. Jeez. And he's on the over 7.5 rebounds for Jimmy Butler. Emily J. Blunt says, putting too much emphasis on where the money is on a losing proposition, handicapping the actual game. San Francisco Giants winning last night was a good example of ignoring the line. Yeah, I think if you completely ignore the market, that it is, slightly ignorant. I don't think the market should be ignored.
Right.
I've done that, and I like doing that. But I just don't think – I think that it is important to have as much information as possible. It will always be key to have as much information as possible. At no time in the handicapping process should you say, I don't want to look at that information.
Most definitely.
But I hear what you're saying, Emily, and we shouldn't be completely controlled by the market. But I hear great cappers saying, don't look at the market, just focus on your own capping. And from a simple standpoint, I agree that
it's tough though, especially like for me. It was tough for me to doing that a lot this year because I've been having a terrible season, bro. Me and you, we both talk about it all the time here. I just been having terrible reads, but towards lately, like the last 3 weeks, I've been doing it this way, and I feel like I could have more confidence in myself now. I wouldn't definitely put the house on the Heat first half, but I am making that a 2-unit play, bro, which I already knocked in. So it's one of those things. It's a market move it's something I'm not happy about, bro. But I think the numbers are gonna average out, and that's kind of what I'm banking on. And again for Bam, and mentioning Bam, he probably need more shots, bro. Bam maybe need more shots.
I'm not sure what to do with this game. I'm not sure what to do with this game. Emily says bookmakers are trying to get money on both sides. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Okay, let's move on here. I'm not going to make an official move here. I need to sit with this a little longer. I think that the 17,000 fans is going to be a very nice push for the Heat. Do you think that will give them pressure? Or do you think that the fact that it's packed in here, if they go down, if they hit a couple of bricks early, that it could affect them negatively at all? Or do you think is that part of the reason why you're on the Heat first half? You think this crowd's going to push them towards glory?
I think it has to be a point of emphasis to get these main guys involved. Well, basically Jimmy Butler involved. He has to be the main guy coming out up front, and I believe that those shots will fall helpful. It will be helpful for the crowd though. If they make the first few for sure. But this team, as far as this Heat fan base, they're very forgiving, bro. They remember being bad. You know what I'm saying? And I think they kind of, I'm not saying they owe it to this team, but this is the first time they're really playing a playoff game since LeBron played. So I think that they're going to have some type of loyalty here, especially when they're already down. They need to rev this team back up. Now, who knows, bro? You know what I'm saying? Who knows what type of fan base we're going to get, because, they spitting on Trae Young. They're throwing popcorn on Russell Westbrook. Probably frustrations with COVID, but you know what I'm saying? But I think that we're going to get a helpful Miami Heat fan base today. I think that the team needs to make more better shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see any fadeaways from Hero here, man. Like, from the three, bro. Like, sit your ass straight up and just knock it down. Like, he's wide open most of the time because they're always open. That's the problem here with me in this series, I think, because I'm seeing them getting wide open looks. They're not making them. Milwaukee has been giving everyone wide open looks. That's the reason why I'm liking the over, and it's the reason why I'm on the Heat early, just based off of those things.
Alexander Sosa on Miami first half says is the play absolutely. Lee Federchek on Miami first half. Dennis Garcia says Wham is with the market. Miami favored in the first half for a reason. So official play for you, Miami first half. That's your only look at this point, or are you going to move on?
For this game, yeah. For this game, that's the only look I have. I do have action on the next game too.
Let's move on to that next game. Lake Show time. West first round game 3 series tied 1-1. Phoenix Suns 51-21, 24-12 on the road at the Lakers, 42-30, 21-15 at home, Staples Center, LA. Pace slow so far in the series, 92 possessions a game. Chris Paul looked bad. 23 ineffective minutes. 6 points, 5 assists. This is from Monty Williams. It's pretty obvious he's not able to make the passes he wants. That's number one. He was laboring tonight. I don't want to get into too many details about it before I talk to him, but he wasn't even running or dribbling the way he ran and dribbled the ball this morning. We're hopeful it'll get better over the next 48 hours, but, it's going to be the Cameron Payne show. And he went for 19 and 7. He's playing his heart out, but there's a control issue that is not there. Anthony Davis, I can't believe I didn't move on the prop of him going over 25.5 points. He goes 34 points, 10 boards, 7 assists, 3 blocks. The Lakers opened up as 6.5 point favorites. They're now 7 point favorites. This total opened up at 210. They're now 211.5 or 212. It's too bad that Chris Paul's hurting, because this was shaping up to be possibly a classic. Right. And now it looks like the Lakers could be a runaway train. How are you betting this?
Yeah, man, it's so unfortunate, especially when you think about Chris Paul career-wise. It seems like it's just always right when it gets really good in the playoffs, he gets injured and he's out for the season or he's out for the playoffs. So I'll definitely hope that he does come back and play, but I'm not anticipating him coming back today. It's not really going to hurt or make or break if he is in the lineup for me on this play that I'm taking. I'm going to take Kentavious Caldwell-Pope over 8.5 points.
Wow.
I've hit this a few times. Obviously, I'm glad I wasn't on it last game because he went 0 for 4, was pretty much the laughing stock on the Lakers while they were winning. So you still was getting guys that was, on his ass, LeBron and for that example, they showed the clip, him yelling at him, getting on him like, this is how you rock. You do this for a living, brother. You know what I'm saying? You got millions in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Getting those guys the confidence back. I think that's what you're going to see from KCP. They're going to go at him early, which they always do in the first quarter. They always go to KCP early to knock down shots. It's only 8.5. I've seen him do 3 threes in the first quarter. I've seen him pull off this total easily in the first half. Now, it does kind of go against me because on the first game, he did have 9 attempts. He had 7 points, 1 for 7 from 3. So I'm anticipating that these guys get him wide open looks, which he did have in the last game. He did have those 4 opportunities that I think 3 of the opportunities that he had at 3, they were wide open. One of them was a contested corner 3, but I believe that this guy is going to come back, bounce back. You can always rely on KCP to pull off the big games. This is a big game for the Lakers coming back at the house. I can see KCP having a great game, so I'm already locked in on the 8.5 over KCP points. I think you may be juiced up. It may be juiced right now because I got it at about 120. I think you may be having the juice there, so you could probably get it at 9.5. I think he gets 10, 12 points for sure.
Yeah, mine's at minus 130. Lakers first half is taking money. Pinnacle just moved it to 4. Same with Bet Online and Heritage. What do you think about side here? Why are you staying off of it?
So it's just 7 points on the Lakers, man. Like, I'm a Laker fan, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will go crazy if they don't win by 7. And that's if I do not bet the game at all. Like, you know what I mean? So the fact that they should win by 10 points, I think that's very capable. I think they can easily come out early as well. And you may be able to just take the 4.5 in the first half or the 3.5 in that, whatever it is there. You could do that as well. But I think you're best off if you're thinking that the Lakers are going to win by margin. You have to believe that the Phoenix Suns has to be running up the score. They have to be playing up tempo. I like the over, like the guy said earlier in the chat. I believe when you're doing baseball, I like this over here. I believe the over at 210 and a half, 210. That's probably the look that I would make if I was to make a side or total bet here, which I'm not. I would probably be leaning more towards the over there because I think that these guys are going to be more up tempo without Chris Paul, and along with the Lakers, they're going to try to jock up shots. It's going to also help me out with that KCP over.
Suns team total at 102.5.
102.5 for the team total. Oh, that's very interesting. So the way I'm looking at Suns, they have to get Mikal Bridges involved. Cam Johnson has to be more involved as well. But those guys can get keyed in on. So you're going to have maybe instead of taking the team total over, it kind of would correlate with the assist prop for Devin Booker, right? Because, I mean, it's not going to be Cameron Payne's show all damn day. It's not going to be the Cameron Payne show. Devin Booker has to become the main ball distributor here, I would think. What you think there, bro?
I fear that the pace is going to be dictated by whatever the Lakers want to do. And that's my fear. This Cameron Payne can be like, look, I'm going to run. We're going to run. And LeBron James can just take the ball, slowly move it up the court, move it around, slow it down. He can decide, it feels like LeBron dictates the pace so much that right now that 102 over 102.5 looks nice.
I like that too. But I think if you like that, you gotta like the 4.5 points assist for Booker. I think you gotta like that. You know what I mean? Because if they're gonna get 102 points, he's probably gonna count for 40 of those points at least. You know what I mean? And that's it combined of assists.
Maybe the best look is Suns first half team total over 50.5.
That is
instead, and because what happens if the third quarter comes and the Suns put up a 16-point quarter?
Yeah.
And the Lakers just, shut it down. Very interesting. Okay, we got to keep rolling because we have 2 NHL games and Mr. Gogster joining us for those. So let's talk about this last game on the card. But what are you making official in Lakers Suns? Just KCP over 8.5?
Yeah, I'm gonna make KCP over. Most likely, I could see myself on the over, full game over as well. But for right now, the only thing I locked in was KCP over 8.5 points. And then, official show, I'll give it out at 9 because I think you could get a better look at least 9 points there. So let's run it like that.
Dennis saying, yes, Jimmy, LeBron will dictate the pace. I'm a believer in home team dictating the pace. It won't be fast. All right, let's move on to the final game on the card. A fun one. West round 1, game 3, series tied 1-1. Denver Nuggets at Portland Trailblazers. A pace 94.5 possessions a game so far in this series. Game 2, won by Denver on Monday. 4 techs, 2 flagrant fouls, 52 common fouls. Damian goes for 32 in the first half. Michael Malone puts Aaron Gordon on him and slows Lillard down to 10 in the second half. Nikola Jokic coming off 1 assist in game 1, 5 in game 2. And Will Barton make an appearance here? They could sure use him defensively.
Man.
Portland opening up as 4-point favorites. Pinnacles moved that to 3.5. BetOnline has followed. This total sitting at 227.5. Nuggets, Blazers, take it away.
I'm taking it with the total again. I hit the over last 2 games. It's not broke. I'm not fixing it. I'm just going to continue to ride the streak here. I'm taking the Portland Trailblazers, Denver, over 227.5. A lot of that has to do with these guys just not playing defense. Of course, Will Barton will help on the defensive end.
Is he going to be in tonight?
I'm not sure. You know what? Honestly, I didn't look and see if he's in, but let me double check.
They don't know. He's not. He's questionable. He could be waiting for game 5. It wouldn't surprise anybody if he waited till game 5 at home.
No, I really wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised neither here. But I would say this though, even if he's in the lineup, he's not affecting their defense like Gary Harris was back when he was on the team. Like when Gary Harris came in, it was really he was keyed in on the top guy. Will Barton is helpful mostly towards the over because he's knocking down nice shots, and he's like KCP in my opinion because they run him early. If he gets in the lineup, they will go to him early rather than going straight down low with Jokic. But Jokic is my key guy here. He will continue to eat. Shot 75% from the field last game. There's nobody out there about to stop that man. Like, there's nothing they could do to stop him. And then on the other side of it, the backcourt for these guys, for, Norman Powell, CJ, and Dame, I don't think they're going to have any help for them either. So I just like this over, man. I think the over is just going to be consistently until we see it at 232, 235, something in that range. I probably won't be on it after that. But at 227, I think they could continue to get over this number. And honestly, even if it was at 235 in this game in particular, I think just because the series is tied, is going back on the road here for Denver, I think that you're probably going to see on the road for Portland. I think you're going to probably see some big late game there, over action there. So I think that over is definitely the best play here. If I was to do anything on the side, though, if I was to make a bet on the side, it probably would have to be Denver here, just because I just don't think that they have enough to stop Jokic, and we could see more of the role players getting involved for Denver. That's the problem with them in the game one. They weren't involved. They weren't there. They weren't helping. They weren't helping out Jokic at all. It was just Jokic out there on the island, basically. So this time around, you get a little bit more from Aaron Gordon. I mean, that's where I'm looking here. I'm looking for Aaron Gordon to ball out a little bit more. But for right now, I'm just going to say the over is probably the best play for me here, and the only bet I did make on this game. If I was to go back, if I was to take a side here, it would be Denver, just based off of matchup wise. I think they're going to win this series here.
Do you think that Portland wants to play fast and Denver would be better off playing slow?
Yeah, but I mean, Denver with their overs, even if they are running slow, there was a few games when they played the Cavs, I want to say even Detroit this year, they were playing slow in those games. They still went over those totals because they're so efficient. Like, they're just so efficient, and you're going to see this team in Portland, like, they don't even care about defense. They're just trying to run it back up down the floor. So I think that's probably what the game plan is going to be, is just getting quality shots for Denver. But even if they do slow down the pace, I think they're going to be more efficient than the Portland Trailblazers. Trailblazers just have to continue to go up to keep up with this team.
Great breakdowns. Can we hear your official picks on this NBA card, Wham Bam?
Most definitely. So I'm going to be on KCP over 8.5. I'm going to say it's at 9. We're going to say over 9 for that because you're going to get a better number there. And then as far as the total, I like the over 227 for Denver. And then also I'm taking the Miami Heat first half -1. I think that's going to be what I'm going to lock in. It's probably I'm going to just pull up the beer and chill on that one. But the other one that I'm strongly leaning on is probably the Lakers over. I'm probably leaning strongly on that Lakers over and that first half Memphis Suns over. I like that 50. You said 50.5. I didn't get to look at my book yet, but that sounds very appealing.
Yeah, and I might. Oh God, because I almost want to take the under full game team total live, especially if the Suns are looking like they're going to go over that first half. That LeBron will just slow it right down in that third quarter. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, man. I got to digest all this information that Wham dropped. Emily J. Blunt also on the over 227. Dennis Garcia on the over. And we got Dutch Boy Fresh rolling with us, digging the freshest look shirt that Wham Bam is rocking. Wham, great stuff. I got to digest and watch this again. Can you let us know where we can find you on Twitter and tell us a little bit about Who Bangin' Sports Talk?
Yes, sir. I'm Walter Trotter the Sun, Trot Wam on Twitter. Find me on Who Bangin' Sports Talk every Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Eastern Time, 5:30. And every 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, we do the Who Bangin' Sports Lounge. My guy, Freshest Look, DJ Big Boss, Marlins Z. Y'all know where to find us. My guy, Jimmy, slide in time to time as well. So it's all love, man. Appreciate you guys for having me in pubs always love to be a part of the winner's circle, man. Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely love it. Our guy Wham Bam in the house. Wham, go get that cash. And much love to you and yours. There he is, Trot Wam in the house. We go from NBA to NHL and 2 giant games tonight, 2 series, could end tonight. Let's bring in Belleville's finest, Mr. Gogster in the house. Gogster, what is happening? Welcome to the show, my man. How are you?
How we doing, guys? What's going on? I had a little backdrop there. Canada knows best hockey. Had to throw something in there for us. So hopefully you guys like that. There it is right there. Over there. There it is. Right there.
I forgot to mention that yesterday I was wearing the shirt that you gave to
Yeah.
SBR, that you autographed. That I haven't washed it.
Oh, God. Don't
So I
tell
still have your
people
autograph
that.
on it. It doesn't smell great, but no
Oh,
one can
God.
smell.
Put it in a plastic bag and bury it.
No one can smell through the camera. Gogster, great call on your best bet last night. The
Thank you,
first
thank
period under in Tampa, Florida. Very, very sharp. Very, very sharp. But let's get right to work. We only have 13 minutes before the Bibano CMAC MLB show pops off. We are going to start with a beauty.
Before you go, sorry, Jim, don't forget to give yourself credit on that Pittsburgh first period. Nice call on that, my man.
It didn't cash. It was 2-2.
What?
It was 2-2 at the end of one. The Islanders scored a late goal.
Oh, see, I was at work. Sorry, I thought it was 2-1. My fault.
No, I thought it
It
was.
was a good call, though. They were up most of that period, weren't they?
Yeah, I thought it was going to cash multiple times.
Like the Miami game in down south there.
Multiple, yeah. That was wild stuff. All right, let's get to work here. We are going to start with Habs, Leafs, and the Leafs open up at minus 235 at Pinnacle. They're now minus 227, so an 8-cent move towards Le Habitant. And the total here, opening up at 5.5, juice to the under. There's been a slight move to the over. Very, very slight move, but it's still juiced quite heavily to the under. Gas Station Sushi says Goji is hotter than fish grease. We have Toronto up 3-1. We're at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. And the depth players from the Maple Leafs are stepping up in an enormous way. Galchenyuk, the player that Habs got rid of, was very, very good. And a lot of these guys who are, party too hard and that has affected their careers, this pandemic has helped them. And now
look at Kane, Evander Kane. Look at how he got his act together.
Totally. And Galchenyuk's another one. He partied his way out of Montreal, and he was a healthy scratch in game 1, and he was the best player on the ice in game 4. Spezza continues to roll goal and assist. Joe Thornton, 41 years, 327 days old, the oldest Toronto player to record a playoff point, passing Alan Stanley and Ron Francis. The depth players are stepping up. Montreal's power play is 0 for 13.
0 for.
Kerfoot was excellent, 3 assists in the game. So you don't have Tavares, you don't have Foligno. You need Kerfoot to step up. Travis Dermott comes in ahead of Rasmus Sandin, which was a surprise. Adam Brooks took over from Riley Nash. It was a mistake to think that Riley Nash could sit out for so long and step in and be effective and as effective as we remember him. Yeah. But Montreal can't score. Toronto scored 3 goals with the man advantage. Remember how bad they were on the power play coming into this? They were 5 of 73 coming into this, and now they have the better power play. I mean, they're just winning in all facets of the game. How do we make money in Habs Leafs?
So let's get to the particulars here, Jim. Like you said, Brooks is going to be back on that 4th line with Spezza and Thornton there. And Montreal is not going to bring in Ramanov. I've been talking about this young guy similar to Sandin. He's not coming in. They're actually bringing in a guy named Gustafsson. He played a lot in the AHL, Jim. He's more of an offensive guy. He's going to be used on the power play as well. They already said he's going to put him on the power play, but he's going to be the 3rd-line defenseman, but he's got a lot of offense to him. They said they're going to put a lot of minutes on Sherratt, Weber, Edmondson, and Petrie. So they're really going to be going for it here offensively wise. The last 2 games also, guys, have been 0-0 first period. So I'm actually going to be first play of the day here. Is first period over, Jim. I expect Montreal, similar to what I had the other on Tuesday show. I just think Montreal is going to come out a lot more desperate. This is, game 3. And if they win this game, guys, game 6 can be in Montreal, and there's going to be 35 or 4,000 fans, right, Jim? So
I heard 2,500, but still
25.
the first band that we've had in the country.
Yeah, so there's a little incentive for Montreal. I have a hard time seeing Campbell. He played really great, had that shutout. Montreal here, guys, their high danger chances in the series have been 2-1, 1-1. So they've been just having their offense has been not there at all. You have to give credit to what Toronto's been doing with Brody. That addition, Jim, from TJ Brody has not been talked about that much, but he's been unbelievable for them. Not to mention, what Spez has been doing. A local Belleville guy here, played for the Belleville Bulls back in 1999, 2000. He's still, looking like he can still skate with the best of them. But overall, guys, I just think it's going to be can Montreal D. It's going to be a lot of counterattacks. Montreal is going to be going for it. They're going to be sending those 3 forwards down. I can see a lot of 3-on-2s coming back for Toronto. Just like I said, Weber, Sherratt, Petrie, Edmondson are going to be used a lot. So I expect more goals to go on as the game goes on too. So it's actually going to be a double up here, Jim. First period and full game over. Toronto, they've done nothing wrong here. Their high danger chances have been 2-2, 6 and 7. So game 3 and 4, they've had 6 and 7 high danger chances. So that just tells you Montreal, they can't score and they're not stopping Toronto. So they're going to try and score more here. I still see they're going to have a hard time stopping them. Price can only do so much. Give me the over here, guys.
Extremely interesting. Extremely interesting. And we also remember Babano's success in these elimination games on the live overs, late, because
third period.
It could be 2-0, 3-0. They'll pull the goalie with 5 minutes left in the game. Very, very interesting. Slat says on the Leafs, but you can't depend on the Habs to score, and their power play is the worst in the NHL.
It's a real reach. Yeah.
We have a couple questions for you here. One from Trusty, one from Brian Warner. Trusty says, thoughts on Campbell over 25.5 saves? It sounds like that correlates with your overs.
Yes, 100%. The only thing is, like I said, the high danger chances haven't been there. They're going to have to empty the truck here, Trusty. Toronto's defense has been good. It's more of a belief in Montreal here, guys. It's tough believing in Montreal and what they've been doing, but just looking at their lines here, I wrote it down. Tatar, Deneau, Gallagher, that's a solid line. They've been great all year, Jim.
But Gallagher's hurt. Gallagher's clearly got a hand injury.
Yeah, that's true. He's more of a guy in front of the net. They got to use Tatar and Deneau to get the puck down low. They need to start getting more pucks on net. That's what it comes down to with this Montreal team. Make Campbell feel a lot more pressure, make him feel awkward. He's been way too comfortable between the pipes. That's been, like I said, a great job by the D for Toronto. But yeah, Trusty, you know what? I don't have the numbers for what Montreal has on shots, but I would expect a better performance here. Caulfield. And to think here, too, Tavares isn't on the team. That it's not like Toronto's 100%, too. Foligno is going to be out as well. I didn't say that, Jim. Foligno's not playing either. So there's opportunities for Montreal to get through this. Like, it's not Toronto's best offense, and it's got to be an over spot. I think Montreal is going to score a goal in the first period. I could see a 1-1 after the first, similar to game 2. I do like that play, though, Trusty. I wouldn't take anything over about minus 115, 120 on it, though.
And then you also would correlate to the Brian Warner question, saying thoughts on both teams to score in the first period.
I didn't even see that, but yeah, I would there, Brian. Plus 190, I really like that. Montreal gets a quick goal early. Toronto bounces back. I don't trust the Montreal defense either. I don't trust Montreal enough to win this game, but I do think they get a couple goals, 2 at least, past Campbell here. Power play, as you guys know, 0 for 13. They're going for it. It's pretty much they're emptying the whole kitchen sink here, guys. They got nothing to lose. If they win, they got fans waiting for them. So expect Montreal's best performance here. And if they don't have it, then their coach is gone. I can't stand that guy, by the way.
Well, let's move on to the next spot on the card. Great breakdown there, Gogster. 9:30 p.m. Eastern, Central, first round, Game 6. Carolina leads 3-2. Hurricanes 16-9-3 on the road this year, and the Predators 18-10-0. They were excellent in the second half of the season at home, Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. Let's take a look at the market move here. We have – that's first period. By the way, the first period overs are a plus line in that Habs game, and the full game overs are the plus line, so plus line looks there. For the full game money line, we have Carolina opening up at minus 146. There's been an 11-cent move over to Nashville at Pinnacle. And for totals, This total opening up at 5.5, minus 129 to the under, now minus 133 to the under, a 4-cent move towards the under. Jordan Staal has been excellent in this series, scoring off a rebound 2 minutes and 3 seconds of overtime, and clearly the best Staal brother playing right now, as Eric is
fourth line in Montreal. Yeah,
third straight game to go to overtime. Predators won those two in Nashville in double overtime.
Yeah.
And then we have this one just 2 minutes in. Nate just scored twice for the Hurricanes. Slavin came back. Huge addition for Carolina.
Yeah.
And the Predators will have 14,107 fans. That's up 2,000 from games 3 and 4 capacity. That place is going to be rocking.
Is it
Take
ever?
it away, Gogster, Canes, Preds.
What a series this has been. Like Jim said, 3 games in a row have gone to overtime. Nashville, a lot of people were high on Carolina here, Jim. I thought this would go 6-7 games, to be honest. The way Nashville, they got really healthy near the end of the year, played really good hockey. Now, Carolina is the opposite. Now they've been playing, okay hockey, but they're finally healthy, pretty much all the way healthy. Slavin's huge. You looked how well they played. They stopped Nashville offensively. They a truck in the middle of the road there. They just stopped them. But anyway, guys, let me be short and sweet with this one. Carolina, I can't shy away from Carolina here. With the addition, I know it's one player, Jim, and Slavin, but I expect a great performance from these guys. They've done nothing wrong all year. Bounce back. What else do I have here? It's got to be a better game for Neto Djokovic here. Not to mention there's been 10 different goal scorers for this Carolina team, Jim. 10 different goal scorers. So they can score on all 4 lines, where this Nashville team, Arvidsson's also game time decision, so he's a big offensive player for them. They've only had contributions from their first line in Forsberg, Johansson, Duchesne. Local guy Nick Cousins, he scored a goal a couple games ago. I don't think Cousy can do it again. It's a big task going up against a up-and-coming team in Carolina. Look for Carolina to finish it here, guys. I do like the overs as well, but more I thought about this, I think Carolina money line, Carolina regulation. Let's go Hurricanes. I don't think they want to go game 7. And I just think they're going to prove they're a much different team with Slavin there, Jim. Much different.
No doubt about it. I'm not certain he's 100%, but just having him on the ice is
his mind on the ice. Yeah, he's just a great player out there.
All right, Jared Nichols says over in less than 30 seconds because we got to go to Babano and CMAC. Do you have any feel on the total?
Yeah, this is another one right before taking Carolina, guys. I had just like this Montreal-Toronto game, first period over, full game over. More I thought about it, though. I thought, with this addition of Slavin, I'm a little worried about what Nashville's going to do, but they've been so good at home scoring goals, especially behind that crowd. So I do like the overs here, but I do think Carolina is going to finish it, 4 goals at least. Official
NHL picks from Gogster. Could you review your action?
All right, guys. So best bet is going to be, Carolina is going to finish him here. Moneyline Carolina. It's a little heavily juiced. I think it's 125, 130, but I do think that's going to happen. I also like Toronto first period over, full game over with Montreal, and slight lean towards, actually, let's give it out as well. 5 picks on this card. I don't shy away. Full game over, first period over for Carolina and Nashville as well. I'll have them on my Twitter there, guys. Ego47 on Twitter. And we'll be back again tomorrow. Sorry we couldn't be a little longer today, guys.
Yeah, we'll get more time tomorrow. Great stuff, Mr. Gogster.
Coffee.
Great stuff. Coming off a nice winning day. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, guys. Head over to Babano and CMAC. They are live right now, 1 p.m. Eastern for their best bets in MLB, and they're going to go through the entire card, and Gogster looking like he's ready to leche. But before we go, everybody send as much love and positivity and thoughts to the Matt Randall family and Briggsy in surgery as we speak right now in the Children's Hospital there. And so as much love as possible to the Randall family. Gogster, great work. Can you leche us out of here, my friend?
All right, guys, we're going to get some cash today. While we do it, we're going to leche los bookmakers.
Where's the bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.